I've never really paid a lot of attention to Matt Gaetz. I'm going to be honest. I saw that he was somebody who wanted a lot of attention. And in general, I tend to ignore people like that. I don't like fueling that fire. I understood that people I like interacted with him a lot. People like Tucker. Trump obviously loved him. Fine. He wasn't exactly my cup of tea. I didn't have anything against him per se, but whatever. Not like, I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not some Matt Gaetz sycophant. But the New York Times Daily podcast today has made me a big fan, which I don't think was their intended effect. So the Times, with this reporter, Robert Draper, he's talking about how typically the Attorney General has been independent from the White House / president. And that's been a glorious thing. Now, he doesn't point out that JFK appointed his little brother, RFK, who was only 35 years old and had never tried a case, had not that much legal experience when he made him Attorney General, complete nepotism. And it was only about one thing, loyalty. And he wasn't the first to do that, nor the last. But anyway, this more modern or more recent trend of there'll be sort of this, not a Chinese wall, but more independence foisted on the DOJ when it comes to dealing with the White House is in exactly that. It's more of a recent trend. And there is a history in this country where it wasn't there. Not pointed out by the Daily. In any event, here's the New York Times setting that up.
The Attorney General has tended to be an office that operates more or less independently from the president. The Attorney General will often do things that might even offend the president, might even investigate members of the administration. So to pick someone like Matt Gaetz, who is an unflagging loyalist to Donald Trump, would seem to suggest that the DOJ will, under Trump's presidency, become completely co-opted.
Good. Great. We're off to a good start. I mean, he talks about how sometimes they'll investigate the sitting president. We know. That's why he's choosing Matt Gaetz. That's what's led people like me to say, I don't really care how incendiary he is. He seems like he might actually work there. He's like, oh my God, he'd be an unflagging loyalist. The DOJ might become completely co-opted, meaning loyal to the president and not so keen on investigating him. Great. Maybe that would free up his time from bullshit Russia investigations to actually get something done for the American people. So a swing and a miss, New York Times. Then they go on to talk about how Gaetz is an attention lover. Great. Once again, you're really selling me. Go on. I didn't actually know some of that because, like I say, I haven't paid that much attention to Matt Gaetz. But talking about how he praised Trump universally, what was happening during the 4 years of Trump's presidency? Remind me again in the media. Was it usual to find somebody out there who would defend Trump regularly and religiously in the case of Matt Gaetz? I don't remember that. No, I think the vast, vast majority of the Trump coverage was extremely negative and extremely wrong and openly dishonest. So good for Matt Gaetz for being one of the sole people to go out there and continue swinging on behalf of the former president. Well, he was then the current president, and then they continued it during the Biden presidency once he decided he would run again. He defended the travel ban. Good. He was right on that. He defended the problems that the Republicans were pointing out on Obamacare when they were pushing to repeal and replace. Great. They wound up ceding that fight, which many of us had a problem with because Obamacare was uniquely unpopular. But I have no problem with the guy defending the criticism of it. And Mueller, calling Mueller dishonest and saying the whole investigation was perfect. You were right. There was nothing there. It was a waste of taxpayer funds, and it completely distracted the sitting president from the job he'd been elected to do. More stuff Matt Gaetz was right on.